Hello to all viewers of Game On, and as we do right here on Game On, we do have a rather special interview with a special individual from an interesting part of the continent. When you think of football in the East and you think of one of the big club sides in the East, of course, the name Young Africans jumps out, of course, as one of the most popular clubs on the continent. What with their success out in Tanzania, we do have the absolute pleasure of having the club president, of course, in Mr. Hersi Said, joining us here on Game On. President Said, thank you so much for your time. And firstly, let's get straight into it in the interest of time. Let's talk about Yanga, as it's known, Young Africans, a club that goes back to 1935, great, rich history behind it, and also a lot of success behind it, but with no less than 30 league titles, currently on 3 in a row. Talk to us about the culture of the club and what makes it stand out from a Tanzanian point of view to where it's well known throughout the continent.
Oh, thank you very much. Number one, I would like to appreciate everything that you guys are doing on that end. South Africa is part of my family. It's my second home, actually, after Tanzania.
Yes.
And always when I'm in South Africa, it's the best place for me. Coming back to Young Africans, we're more than happy that the club is doing very well. And to be honest, the success that we're having now, it's a product, or it's an end product of a project called transformation. Mm-hmm. We did a lot of changes in our club. We had a project called transformation that was transforming our club from the old system of operation to a new system of operation, where we engaged a company called La Liga from Spain, and they were consulting us on the best model of running a football club. So since then, when we started this program in 2020, we managed to convert the team from a very difficult moment that we were facing back then to the best and successful achievement for the past 3-4 years. So 2021-22, we started winning the league, the FA Cup and the Charity Cup. Same applies to the second year, 22-23, and as well as last season, which is 23-24, we won everything in the country. But not only success within the country's leagues, but also on the continental level, where we played CAF Confederation Cup final 2 seasons before, and then last season we went all the way to the quarterfinal, which was history for our club as well. But moreover, this season we are now in the group stage of Champions League, where we managed to play 4 games preliminary round, and we made it to the group stage by scoring 17 goals in 4 games, and we never considered a goal in the Champions League. So it's a big success for the club, and I can tell you, it's a success story of the transformation project that we did.
It certainly seems to have pushed Young Africans in the right direction, the transformation you speak of. Let's now talk, you've mentioned the success as well in reaching the latter stages of the Confederations Cup, including the Champions League. What are the club's ambitions overall? We know at home you'd still like to be dominant, but your ambitions overall on the continent, where would you like to see Young Africans ranking against the Al Ahlis of the world and such?
To be honest, we are trying our level best to improve on the continental level. It's not easy. The likes of Mamelodi Sundowns, one of the biggest club in the continent, Al Ahly, you're talking about Raja Casablanca, the likes of TP Mazembe. Those are biggest club, and they've done it very well in the continental level. We as Young Africans, we are trying our level best now to see if we can be able to match with these giants. But it's a process. It's not one day. You don't press the button and then it happens. It's a process. And since we have done it to the quarterfinal last season, we're expecting as well our minimum level this season is to the quarterfinal. Whatever happens beyond that will be a surplus to us.
How important has it been over the years, as you've spoken, with the transformation, a change, and maybe, if I can put it that way, an improvement in the club structures, such as scouting and resources for the club? How important has the improvement in those situations been for the growth of Young Africans Football Club to be able to compete with the best?
So the growth is basically starting from the club ownership. We've started on the club ownership. So it used to be 100% members, but now we've opened doors for the investors. So we'll be 51 members, 49 investors. So opening doors for the investors to come in and be part of our club, so they can be able to add monetary value, number one. Number two is we've improved on the structure of administration, which is also a very important element. All these alignments and performance of the individual departments that brought into the club has been a success based on the structure of our club. And this is a very important thing for the clubs. And then now the results are it's like now the flower on the tree. But when you take care of the tree itself, it brings you a lot of fruits and flowers. Like I can say now we have a team from Botswana, township rollers. They're here. They're in Dar es Salaam now, doing a three days meetings with young Africans so that they can be able to learn what is happening with young Africans, and they can be able to, duplicate or do the same in the league, and especially on the township rollers since the takeover of the new owner with 80% of the stake purchased by the investor. In that regards, we are opening doors for the team as well from Africa to come and learn from us and understand the transformation that we've done and the positive results that came forward after this transformation. And so this is TP Mazembe were here a month ago, a club from Kenya, FC Leopards were here as well. They came here to see what is happening with the young Africans. We need to learn from these people. And we are, through the young Africans and Africanism, we're more than happy to help our fellow clubs. We paid this for this education from La Liga, but we're more than ready to help our fellow African clubs and be able to see the best model of running a football club and the structure as well.
You're at a point now where the club is so well known throughout the continent that you are attracting attention from different parts of the continent. In the off-season, most recently, your club got to spend some time in pre-season in South Africa. You're at a point now where you're going internationally to even have pre-season ahead of your local league. How are you finding that growth and the attention that Young Africans is drawing from other African countries and recognition as well?
It's very positive as well. I mean, with all the likes of the media that is covering the entire continent, what is happening in South Africa is the same minute is all worldwide known. We know exactly what is happening in South Africa, but as well as what is happening in Tanzania, it's a worldwide thing nowadays. In that regards, people are following up. There are some big fans of South African Premier League in Tanzania, same as big fans of Tanzania Premier League in South Africa and the other part of the world. In that regard, when we are now moving beyond our border, we are in a position of sharing the love and success that we've been achieving in the country. And in that regards, we were so happy to be in South Africa, and there was a lot of positive energy from South Africans, as well as people from East Africa that, stays and lives in South Africa. So, and in that regards, we're also welcoming other clubs from other parts of the continent to come to Tanzania as well. If you remember last season, we invited Kaizer Chiefs to come and play Young Africans here, and they were received with very positive energy and the love from Tanzanian people, as well as we took them all over to Zanzibar, and the energy was up there. So in that regards, we're opening relationship, but as well as opening borders within the continent.
Now, in speaking of the continent and the interests of football on the continent on the whole, in all of us moving in the right direction, you're also president of the African Club Association. For those that aren't aware of the African Club Association and your goals and objectives, can you please outline them for us quickly?
Very good. I'm very happy now to explain about ACA. ACA, it's African Club Association. It's a new initiative that was established by CAF in support of the clubs in the continent. And let me take this opportunity to appreciate the good work that has been done by the president of CAF, Dr. Patrice Motsepe. To be honest, he is the vision behind the success of ACA. And when he introduced this to the ExCom, they were so positive in that regards. They managed to accommodate ACA in CAF as well. But I know it's a long fight because, having these clubs most of the leadership were running away from bringing the clubs to CAF. But,
Yes.
I appreciate Dr. Motsepe is a man of vision and leadership. But moreover, this ACA is basically an association that brings together the clubs from Africa. All the clubs should be coming under one platform, under one roof, so that they can be able to, number one, create good relationship between themselves. We've been seeing a lot of challenges for the club from one country to another country, being hostile and giving very difficult moments. But under ACA, we want to create good relationship, number one. But number two, we want to bring the clubs together so that they can be able to understand and define the challenges that they're facing. There's a lot of challenges on the continental level when we play against each other. But number two, also looking at the other issues that the clubs are facing, talking about sponsorship, talking about marketing activities, talking about fan engagement, talking about relationship, talking about legal support and all this stuff. So when we bring these clubs together, we can be able to sit and analyze the challenges that we're facing as football clubs in the continent. But number two, finding solutions. Your challenge can be we can get solutions from the other end. So when we sit together, we can be able to find solutions for our challenges that we're facing. But moreover, when they established ACA through CAF, it was also agreed that the CAF has to accommodate the biggest stakeholder, which is the football club in the continent, in the CAF executive committee.
Yes.
So in that regard, a chairman of the board of ACA is also sitting the CAF executive committee, which is, to me, it's the most important thing to have a voice of the club on the continental highest decision body platform, which is the CAF executive committee. So the way now ACA has been established, but after the establishment was now to cater for the 6 zones of CAF in the continent. So you're talking about COSAFA in in southern part of Africa, SECAFA, the eastern part of Africa, WAFU A, WAFU B, UNIFA, and UNAF. In that regard, if we are now having the representation from all these 6 zones, which now what we have done is we have 2 board members from each 6 zones. Talking specifically about the Southern African zone, which is COSAFA, we have Salomo, the chairman of African Club from Namibia, but we also have Jessica Mutaong from Kaizer Chiefs representing the COSAFA zone. We also have the SECAFA zone, WAFU A, WAFU B. So in our board, the structure is 12 board members from 6 CAF zones. So 12 board members out of 6. But moreover, when we have our General Assembly, the first General Assembly, we will have election of 3 more board members from the women's soccer. So actually the board will consist of 15 board members. As of now, we have only 12, since we haven't done the election for the 3 women's representation from the continental level. But moreover, we have a chairman of the board, which is me, first vice chair, which is Jessica, and second vice chair is my brother Paul from Aqua United in Nigeria. But moreover, based on that structure, the chairman is also sitting at CAF executive committee to represent the ACA and the clubs in the continent level. But moreover, what is happening now with ACA after this, we have established the platform where we can be able to have a hosting nation. And so far, 3 countries has showed a strong interest, and we've been highlighted the 3 countries, which is South Africa is one of them, Morocco is one of them, and Algeria. So we're talking about 3 countries that showed interest of hosting ACA. And yesterday we had a board meeting, and the ACA has approved those 3 countries to be the contenders of ACA headquarters, where we will be able now to visit the 3 countries, be able to understand the contribution of those countries toward ACA establishment, and be able to vote for the best and be able to establish ACA to that hosting nation that has been approved by the ACA board. So this is the stage that we are now, but moreover, we will be having now ACA established in the next few months.
Thank you very much for that breakdown of the ACA. It was comprehensive indeed. I have to ask you, you mentioned the different regions, and of course, you are in the SECAFA region. I've had the joy of seeing the SECAFA Club Championships in action, and I need to ask you about the importance of the regions themselves being busy in helping develop themselves, so to speak. Let's say Sekafa being as busy as COSAFA. We'd like to see Wafu A and Wafu B being busy in developing themselves, having their own championships. How important is it that we are able to, from a club point of view, like we do with countries, still develop within the different regions? I'll say Sekafa from your point of view.
Yeah, I mean, every country has a main reason of building their leagues, because commercially it's starting from the national level, but moreover we can bring these competitions toward the zones, COSAFA, Sekafa, Wafu A, Wafu B, but moreover on the continental level where we played either CHAN or AFCON. But ACA will have a role to play in this as well. I've seen, I was in Athens 3 weeks ago on the ECA General Assembly, which is the same platform of the club association in Europe. I've seen how ECA has managed to uplift the leagues and be able to support financially, but as well as operationally. There's a lot of departments at ECA supporting the clubs that are registered under ECA in Europe, which will be the same thing that will be happening when we establish our ACA in the continent. So we will be able to add value, but I'm 100% sure the countries, the football federations, they're also doing that. The countries' board leagues that are supporting the leagues, they're also doing the same. But Sekafa, talking about our zone, is also doing the same. Our president, Karia, is also doing very well in Sekafa region. But I can see all of us, we should have a way of contributing toward the development of our leagues and the clubs in a specific country.
In looking at those different leagues, especially some of the best on the continent, how important is it that we all move in the direction of VAR as far as refereeing to help improve the standard of the game on the continent?
To me, VAR is the best mode of, getting the best out of it. And I know there might be a lot of investments required in place for the VAR to be established. As of now, I think from only the quarterfinals, from the quarterfinal level of the continental level, it's where you have the VAR. To me, we should improve and go back, to the level of group stage. And why not, if we can start from the preliminary rounds? But I know there's a number of factors to be considered for VAR to be established in those countries, and specifically on the continental level as well. I haven't seen as well on the AFCON. I'm not so sure if from the get-go of the AFCON we have the VAR. I'm not so sure. So it's something that we need to improve on that area as football bodies in the continent. But I can see the very right direction that we're heading toward the establishment of VAR in all the levels of the competitions.
President Said, I won't keep you for too long. I have one last question to ask you. I've also had the pleasure of course, attending one of the greatest derbies on the continent, if not the world, which, of course, is Yanga or Young Africans against Simba. The importance of this derby to Tanzanian culture and to your club as well. How important is it, and how much pride does it fill you with to know that it is ranked amongst the very best on the continent?
I mean, the derby here is the most important game of the season. Everyone here in Tanzania. And we have seen, people are crying, people are laughing, people are very happy when they win. And it creates a lot of energy and, a lot of sadness as well when you lose. It has been treated very well in the country here, this derby. Very fortunate. It's not a fight. We're not fighting. It's only we fight on the pitch. The players are fighting on the pitch during the 90 minutes. And then after that, everyone is happy with whatever that is happening. But economically, yes, it's now becoming one of the biggest derby in the continent. And I've seen a lot of people traveling from the neighboring countries, talking about Kenya, Uganda, Rwanda, Burundi. They're coming here to watch the game. But I've seen a lot of South Africans as well coming down here to watch the game. The media guys and all this stuff. My brother Dube from Far Post it has been, I don't know, for the past 3 years, he's never missed the derby. And for me, and he's bringing a lot of people as well, the likes of you guys coming down here to watch this game. But moreover, it's something that we need to build and create a better platform for these derbies to happen in every country. These derbies, they can bring financial value to the clubs. Moreover, they can bring, interaction with the public as well. but moreover, they can bring a lot of, development in terms of performance. You don't want to lose the game. So definitely, you'll either prepare your team very well, you sign the best players, you sign the best coaches, just for you to win and get a bragging right. But for me, these derbies are the most important games of the season, even though they have 3 points, like any other game, but they create energy and, developments toward our footballs in the continental level. And I can see, Young Africans versus Simba become the biggest derby, even though we've been winning for the past, we won 4 in a row. Eh?
Yeah.
It's something I should be very proud of in my team, to win 4 in a row, which is a history here. But it's still a competitive one. The other one, we won 5, but recently we won 1-0, which is, it became now very difficult for us as well. So we pray to win the 5th one, which will be now it's another record for us as well. But it's a very competitive game, which brings a lot of positive energy.
President Said, we get a lot of positive footballing energy from Young Africans Football Club. We also get it from Tanzanian football on the whole, from those of us around the continent that are loving what's coming out of Tanzania. We wish you the best of luck going forward with your project with Young Africans, including Tanzanian football, and as well as the African Club Association. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much, and all the best for you, and take care of yourself.